welcome back to Questioning Sense with me, Matt. I hope you guys are well. All is going swimmingly here. Thank you very much for your concern. Okay, it's been a while, so back with another video. And this is from a house that I really respect and enjoy. In fact, I would go as far as to say that the House of Costume National are probably my favourite designer house. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 from them now, and I've spoken at length in the past about this one. This little miraculous bottle called Hom, which is a sandalwood lover's delight, beautiful stuff. I also have the criminally underrated 21, which I haven't done a video on yet, and I better get round to it because I'm getting through this so quickly. I don't think I'm going to have much left of my little 30mm. I also have the rather newish one called Secret Woods by Julien Rascounet, and this is beautiful. It's a very dark, smoky fragrance. It's kind of a little reminiscence of like a cross between Black Afghano and Interlude Man, but without the sweetness. Excellent performance, excellent fragrance. But the subject of today's review is going to be this one, which is called I. Beautiful presentation. This is a 100ml bottle. This came out at the same time as another one called J. So the I stands for Italy, and the J stands for Japan. So they're the two sort of influences of the two perfumes. But this one came out in 2019. The nose behind it, again, is Julien Rascounet. And I am absolutely blown away with this one. I have put in the title of the video, is this the next hype beast? And I think it could easily be so. As I say, it's been around since 2019, but I've only just discovered it, and I cannot believe why nobody has been shouting and screaming about it. I've seen there's a fair few reviews of it online, but I think in the real world this is such an outstanding perfume. Recently we were talking about Essential Parfums Bois Imperial, which has become very much a hype beast, especially in the UK fragrance community. This is a splendid fragrance, don't get me wrong, but I think this one is equally as good, and amazingly for 100ml it's probably a little bit cheaper than the Bois Imperial as well. I got mine from a Dutch outfit called One Bio, and it took quite a while to be delivered actually. I was a bit annoyed about that, but I think I paid around £50 for it for 100ml, which is fantastic. So more importantly, or most importantly, we've covered the cost, we've covered the fact that I love it, and the fact that I think this is a proper hype-worthy fragrance. Let's find out what it smells like. The first thing we're going to have to address when we're talking about a fragrance like I is we have to address the fact that it has got a perfume out there, or there is a perfume out there that smells quite similar, and that is the much more expensive Parfums de Marly's Layton. Now, Layton isn't a fragrance I own, so I can't do a side-by-side. It is a fragrance that I like. I remember a long time ago, both Rich and I got samples of it. And we thought, yeah, this is really nice. It's quite designer-ish, but it's extremely expensive for a fragrance that I felt at the time didn't particularly kind of warrant that sort of cost. If I'm spending that kind of money, I think it's about £160 a bottle at that point. I don't want something that's going to remind me of a designer fragrance. I want something that's really going to be challenging and exciting and wonderful. I want, Zerjoff's More Than Words or something like that for that kind of money. So I didn't take it any further with Layton. I didn't buy it, and I know Richard didn't either. But we liked the fragrance, and now this comes along at a fraction of the cost, and it does smell very similar. Not exact, and as I say, if I had Layton with me and I did a side-by-side, I'm sure there'll be some quite glaring differences, especially in the dry down, but they are certainly reminiscent of each other. And because of that, now Layton is often described as, people's most complimented fragrance, or, the niche fragrance that everybody loves. And I kind of get that because it is very mass appealing, and therefore, so is this one. So if we have a quick look at the notes, at the top you have thyme, you have saffron, and then you have bergamot, then you have labdanum, you have lavender, and you have geranium, and then in the base you have leather, you have ambroxan, and you have cedar. I love the fact that they're declaring ambroxan as a material used as a note, because it is noticeable in here. So if you're familiar with the likes of Dior Sauvage, you will pick up on that note. You will recognise it in the dry down pretty quickly. But it's tempered so well, and what ambroxan does is it's often used in perfumery to enlarge a perfume, to extend its life, to give it some more projection, to give it a little bit more sillage, that kind of thing, and it works really well here. So I am wearing it at the moment, but I'm going to give it another little spray, because something quite strange happens in the opening for me. I have read up on it since I've had it, and I think I'm the only one that kind of picks up on it, but when you spray it on your hand, the first thing you'll notice is it's bloody massive. It just goes everywhere. is it's so intense. The saffrony thyme and that citrus from the bergamot meshes together, but bizarrely, and I think this is obviously something wrong with me, I don't know whether it's post-COVID or not, I get an almost chocolatey vibe from it, which I think is probably down to the saffron. There's a sweetness that comes under it, and it just lifts off your skin. When this arrived, literally, I tore the packaging open because I am a child. I sprayed it on my hand, and then I rushed off out to pick my son up. And all the way I was walking down towards the school, I was just getting these massive wafts of it, and I was thinking, bloody hell, this is stupidly potent. And it really does bang straight out. Wow. Thankfully, it doesn't stay like that. If it did have that level of projection for more than 20 minutes or so, it would be a really, really difficult perfume to wear. The projection starts to drop off a little after that, but don't get me wrong, this is no slouch at all. Not quite beast mode, but not far off it. It's a big hitter. So this saffron and the bergamot, it's sweet, it's lovely, it draws you in. The saffron's a beautiful, beautiful note. The lavender underneath it supports it, and quite often lavender, to me, especially to my nose, what lavender does is it sits in the background and smooths everything out, and that's exactly what it does here. You have this wonderfully bright but smooth opening. It makes it very, very likable. And as the thing's coming, you'll get this ambroxan note come in. It charges in. It's very, very noticeable. But what happens is, as it arrives, this sort of soft leatheriness sort of supports around it, and then you have the cleanness of the cedarwood on the base that just smooths everything out. So it's not an obnoxious ambroxan. It's bright and it's punchy, but it's well delivered. It's kind of, you know, there's a lot of power there, but it's not screeching. It's not pushing out too fast. There's nothing sharp or spiky here at all. Everything is delivered almost like it's been smothered in butter. It's just, it's a delicious fragrance. And then it floats around you for hours and hours. You get a good 7 or 8 hours performance out of this. It lasts me through a day. I have taken to wearing this one out a lot, and this is a slight concern to me because obviously I love my Bergamusk, and I love the fact that Bergamusk is my most complimented fragrance. I think this is going to be a real challenger for it because this is just, they're so inoffensive. There's a little bit of muskiness in here, but there's nothing that's, you know, as Bergamusk can kind of, you know, you either love it or you don't like it kind of thing. This is one of those fragrances that everyone will love. Now, as I say, when I've worn it out, it's every single time I've worn it, there's been a positive reaction to it. Now, I've got to be careful with my words. I'm not saying that you know, I've been complimented every time. That's not true. But what you've got to understand is when I go out with my wife, or, you know, if we meet with our friends, they all know that I'm into fragrance. So the subject of what I'm wearing is quite often discussed because every time I go out, I'm wearing something different. You know, I'm normally sampling something or wearing a new one, or, you know, digging out an old favourite just to give it a run out sort of thing. But I've taken to wearing this one a lot lately just to really put it through its paces. And every single time I've worn it, someone in my circle of friends has said, I really, really like the one you're wearing, Matt, or words to that effect, or what are you wearing, or is that one of those silly expensive ones? Tell us what it is. So it just garners compliments, I can guarantee it. I don't know what it's going to be like in warmer weather, but I think it's going to be great because of the top, this sort of saffrony bergamot thing. I think it may be a little bit too cloying for a particularly hot day, but a summer's evening, it'll be fantastic. It's a modern smelling fragrance that I think is just outstanding, especially when you look at the cost of it. It's such an affordable fragrance, and what I love with Costume National, they are a designer house, but they, you know, if you look at this one for example, they're making fragrances that smell incredibly niche. And, you know, if Perfumes de Marly's Leighton is considered a niche perfume, then this one has to be. I know they're a fashion house and I only don't know. For me, niche is more of a state of mind and a state of smell rather than what it actually is. So does this smell like a niche fragrance? Yes, it does. It has all the complement factor that Leighton would have. It has probably not quite as much performance as Leighton, but it certainly is no slouch. If you were wearing it to work, it would last you a day easily, and if you were going out for the evening, you'd still smell it comfortably on the way home. So who can wear I? Well, I think anyone and everyone can wear it. I think it is quite a masculine leaning fragrance, but I think it would smell amazing on a woman. My wife likes it on me. I don't think she has any interest in wearing it. She just says, no, it's too blokey for her. I don't think it particularly is. I do say, you know, as I said, I do think it's masculine leaning, but I don't think it's over the top. I think anyone can wear it. Age-wise, the younger thrusters will love this. They will absolutely love it. You'll see them binning their Sauvages. You'll see them throwing away their or selling their expensive Laytons and buying this. So the younger guy will smell fantastic. For the older guy, like myself, it also smells amazing. I love wearing this one at the moment, and I think it's going to be a mainstay. The fact that you can get 100ml of it for so cheap means that you can really slosh it about. As I say, it's going to be an interesting one for work. If you work in an office, you may need to go slightly light on the sprays, especially if you're sort of 10 minutes away from work. Dose yourself up with that, and everyone in the building will smell you. If it takes you an hour to get to work, by the time you get there, it will all be a lot calmer, and you'll just smell great all day in the office. For going to the pub, I don't think there's many fragrances in my collection that will beat this, apart from obviously Berger Musk. It's just one of those fragrances that everybody likes. It's the most mass appealing fragrance in my collection of God knows how many bottles. I'm scared to ask, or scared to count rather, but this is probably the most mass appealing fragrance I own. Coupled with excellent performance makes it such a bargain. I really cannot say enough good things about this or the house. I mean, if you are, I'm a bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for? I like collecting things. I'm a terrible addict for collecting stuff. So I'm working my way through CoSTUME Nash now. And if you're looking for a designer house to give you great quality fragrances at a really, really affordable cost, that are quite different to a lot out there, I really do strongly recommend that you have a look at the collection that CoSTUME Nash now offer. And there's going to be something there for everyone. But this one should be at the top of your list. I absolutely love this fragrance. It's fantastic stuff. So if you have got eye, or you've tried it, please let us know what you think of it in the comments. I would like to get your opinion on it. Or hit us up on Instagram and we can have a chat. I mean, Instagram's always the best way to catch me because I spend far too much time on it. And we're always there. So if you don't follow us on Instagram, please do. And that's about it, really. This is bloody awesome. I love it. Buy it. Well, don't blind buy it. The only other, the problem with that is it's difficult to sample in the UK. It really is. It will. I mean, all of these have been blind buys for me. And in all honesty, blind buys aren't the easiest thing to do, because as much as the, eye is a mass appealing fragrance, someone's going to dislike it, I'm sure. So yeah, please, don't ignore me, don't blind buy it. But if if someone's selling a partial, take a punt on it, or if you can get a sample from somewhere, please do, because I think this is outstanding. And if you love Layton or perfumes of that ilk, you will definitely enjoy this one. I would almost go as far as to say, if you're looking to buy a Layton, try this first and save yourself some money. So there you have it, a really, really ringingly high endorsement. And I know I'm blathering on and I'm gushing about a perfume, so I shall bring it to a close, and we shall see you soon on the next video. Cheers, thanks, and bye.